thank you. The first thing I want to do is say thank you very much for being with me on Friday through my little drama, and I'm all through my roller coaster now. I'm back to normal, which is kind of cool. Well, normal for the moment. We'll see what happens, in 10 minutes time. For anybody who's watching this on the replay, with the assumption that it does actually record, I want to apologize because on Wednesday, the recording went to pot, and on Friday, I went to pot, so I completely forgot to press record. And today, I'm on my phone, and I'm hoping that it's recording. So here we go. By the time this pandemic is over, I will know how to use all this technology. So just let yourself land. Let yourself land and just know we're starting a new week. We're starting a new day. We're starting a new moment. And we have a choice how we enter this. We have a choice whether we want to be present for this moment or whether we want to just let it blend. And as I have discovered many times, being present doesn't always feel so good. However, I certainly think it's the healthiest way to go, to be present. Notice what's present, let it come, because then you can also let it go. And so with that intention in mind, or any intention that you choose, so see if what intention you'd like to set for yourself today. And then from that place, let's come to standing. So this week we're going to work a little bit with hips, was my idea, and see how that is. So first, land and arrive. Be in your body. See how that is, depending on what you've been doing. You may have been actually doing something before this class, or you maybe have just rolled out of bed. You may still be in bed. See how it is, have a little wriggle, and notice how it is in your body. Notice what's the difference in the right and the left side of the body. What about the front and the back of the body? Neck, head. And just have a little play. Releasing, unwinding. And then whenever you're ready, allow yourself to come to stillness. So there's this play between movements, and then coming to stillness. And as you play between movement and stillness, notice the difference. Do you feel grounded when you're moving? Can you still feel connected to the earth when you're moving? And when you come still, maybe feel like really rooted into the earth. And see how that is. And then we're going to come to the flow. And so when we come, this is a familiar place. We've been doing similar flow all month, all a long time now, a couple of months. So when we come to a familiar place, you're no longer in new mind. So this idea of coming with beginner's mind, it's not actually, I wouldn't say it's beginner's mind because you're not beginners, but it's coming with a fresh mind. How are you right now? When you were a beginner, you didn't even notice your feet against the ground. And then from the feet, rising tall on an inhale, allowing yourself to expand. So on an exhale, you start to round everything, soften every joint, and contract into this like fetal position almost. From where we're going to grow, inhaling, opening up The other image I have is of a flower closing at night and opening to the sun in the morning. Closing a little bit more. So there's muscle, you can feel the muscles involved, but can you feel the flow? And then opening a little bit more. And if you want to come onto your toes, come onto your toes. And for me, I enjoy that instability and that work in my ankles. Coming on down, releasing down. This time we'll stay down and flat back. I'm staying on my toes for a little bit longer today. And now, as I come into flat back, I need to place my heels on the ground. So I expand out, reach out, release out, and come long. How long can I make this? And imagine like almost like an eel. For some reason, an eel comes to mind of my spine. So with these strong, rounded legs, can I get like an eel movement in my spine and movement from side to side, and then from there come long. Long from head to tail. Once you're content there and finished playing there, coming into your squat. From our squat, back into our lunge. And play here, we're going to play with lunge on each of the rounds this time, or this week. So this one is really just a wakening up and a warming up moment. And just explore, how is it on this side? What is it that you really feel like doing? Do you want to kind of come into the strength? Do you want to come into the length? Or do you just want to kind of play somatically to feel the power moving from one foot back to the other? Just explore, because we're going to go through a little bit longer in each one. And then when you're ready, weight on the back leg, pushing from the back leg through to the front leg, into forward fold, from forward fold, bending your knees, and coming on up and back to prayer. Taking your time, exploring. Inhaling, coming down, exhaling, curling down. This is a bit like my experience all weekend emotionally. Opening up and closing down. Next time, come on up, maybe come onto your toes. Ooh. Hello, calves. Open the shoulders, maybe like a head back. Exhaling as you roll down, come on down. We're going to stay down this time, so I'm still on my toes. That may not suit everybody. And from here, coming through to flat back. In flat back, that's what, try that eel back again. So see that wriggling from head to tail, and then going long. Tail away, one direction, head in the other direction, and so we're long. From flat back, through your squat, from your squat, stepping back, and playing in your lunge on the other side. So see, do you want to put the knee on the ground? Do you want to go a bit longer? Explore. This is our warming up one. Then whenever you're ready, weight on that back leg. And I don't think I was even, so if you don't feel even, stay there for a bit longer. Stepping forward, back into forward fold, from forward fold, through a little chair pose, reaching for the stars, and back to prayer. Regulating your movement from your breath. So rather than thinking of regulating your breath, think of regulating your movement, being guided by your breath. On an inhale, come tall. On an exhale, roll forward so that on an inhale you come tall. And this is the only one we're doing this round, so make it what you want to. Expanding. So the next time when you're ready and you come down, we stay down, we'll come into flat back. From flat back, through the squat, And this time when we step back into our lunge, I want you to place your back knee on the ground. So you're actually putting the back knee on the ground, which gives us a chance now to really play into lunge. If you need to pad that up, do that. So a little blanket or anything underneath it. And from this position, this like lunge position, just allow yourself bringing the hips forward, so leaning forward and seeing what that is. You might find a sensation on the back quads, it might be on the glutes. Just see, experiment. Pausing there for a minute because the muscle reacts very quickly. Your connective tissue just that little bit slower. So allowing a little bit of motion, a little stillness there for a second. And then staying on your knee, coming back, taking your butt back. Initially with the foot on the ground. And then take the toes up towards you. Hello. Repeating one more, coming back into that low lunge. Untucking your toes, we're going to come from this into plank. Back into plank. From plank, knees onto the ground, laying your body down. Nose to the ground and then real long into cobra. So that long, long spine. Exhaling, coming back down, watching the shoulders pushing through. Table to hair, and from hair to dog. Woohoo! First dog of the day. Walk it out. And then in your own time, whenever you're ready, looking between your hands, stepping with your right, meeting with your left, forward fold, and coming on up. How is that step forward going for you? Often a place where people get really stuck. After the work we did last week in the warriors, has it changed? Let's do it all on the other side. Inhaling to length, exhaling to roll. Inhaling to expand, reach, open heart. What a ridiculous thing to say, but let's say it. Exhaling, coming back down into flat back. From flat back through your squat, we're stepping back with the opposite foot now. And once you take that foot back, let the knee come to the ground, back knee to the ground, untuck your back toes. And so we're in a low lunge. You can take your torso up if that feels nice to you. And then just come into that low lunge. Notice I'm going to use the word sink into it. I don't want you to sink into it. I just want you to move into it, to glide into it. Notice are your hips even, your pelvis even really, they're not your hips. Your pelvis even. And then reversing back in the opposite direction. For me, I need to put my hands on the ground to get balance here. When I come back in this opposite direction, my toes are first of all on the ground. And then change, take your toes in the air. Woohoo! God, I love this. Every time it gets me. It's amazing. And then coming forward. Low lunge one more time. Tucking the back toes. Hands flat on the ground as we come back into plank, if you remember. So you're lifting the back knee, taking that front leg forward, back rather, into plank. From plank, knees on the ground, either 8-point pose or lower your body down. And scooting through, coming long before you come up. Legs first. Shoulders away from your ears. Releasing back. Once you're back, tucking your toes back through table, through hair, and from hair, straight up into dog. walk it out or be still. And from here, we're going to go straight onto the ground. So if you come forward, crossing your feet, stepping forward, crossing your feet, and sitting back. It works or it doesn't work. You know, if it goes plop, you go plop. From sitting back, see about holding onto your knees, and then rolling. Have a little roll, have a little rock. Have a little play. One of my favorite things to do. Beautiful. Go to happy baby. So that's when your feet are in the air, you're holding onto your feet and have a little roll from side to side. Fantastic. And then take your feet solidly onto the ground. Initially, maybe a little bit far at the hip, you know, a little bit oh my goodness, what's happened to my language? Mat distance apart. We're coming into windscreen wipers. So the width of your mat, and just allow the knees go to one side and then back to the other. If you have the space to take your arms out into a T, then that would be wonderful. Do that. As your knees go one side, have the palm facing up the side the knees go to, palm facing down the other side. And then just rotate knees, rotate head in the opposite direction of the knees. And as you turn the hand from palm up to palm down. And then bring all of that, the next time you're back at center, pause at center, hug in your knees, hug in your head if that's comfortable for you, hug your hands around your knees into this beautiful little ball. From here then, placing your feet solidly on the ground, just for a little moment of arch, tilt and tuck so that you're just getting any release out of the spine, that there's any kind of knots or any kind of tension held in it, just that central movement, arch and flatten. If anybody has an urge to go into bridge, then go for it, go on into bridge. And then taking your time, coming in and out of bridge if you're doing that, arch and flatten if you're staying with arch and flatten. And then one more time, hug your knees into your chest, roll around and come to seated. Or if you're staying on the ground, then make yourself comfortable on the ground. And so as we come to this part where we come to stillness, do what you need to do to have comfort so that the stillness can come. The stillness is within you. It's just that sometimes our personality, our training, our brain, our mind, all get in the way of us connecting to and feeling that stillness. So do whatever it feels good for you to do so you can connect to that stillness. And then bring your attention to the breath. The more we train ourselves to use the breath to bring us from one place to another, it's really useful because we always have the breath with us. And so I invite you to consider the poem that invites you, that encourages you, or that speaks about us as guest houses, our bodies as a guest house, our bodies and our minds even as a guest house. And so all of these different sensations will come and they will go. And so for me, what our aim is to allow these things come and go, to inquire into them, to learn from them. And as we become more attuned to the sensations in our body, the more information we can get. And we don't need to be afraid of that information. We don't need to stop it. We don't need to fix it. Every emotion that we have has a physiological effect in our body, a sensation. The simple fact is, if we were to actually sense all of these sensations all of the time, it'd be like learning to drive a car. We'd never be able to process anything or get anything else done. So we shut them down. We drown them out. Add on to that the fact that our life becomes busy and we have to then consciously shut out the sensations at the next level. So even when they get a little bit louder, often we have trained ourselves then to shut them out. So taking moments like this, moments of stillness every day, gives permission for these to come and for them to go. And as you build trust in yourself that you can cope with whatever comes and whatever goes, then you're free to allow it come, which then means you can let it go. And as you let each layer go, you may discover what's underneath it. On Thursday night, when I heard the Leave Insert was cancelled, I was consumed with anger for the injustice to my son and the fact that I was powerless to support him or help him. Allowing myself feel that meant that then very soon it was the sadness that came. And soon after that, it was joy and how much I could love him so much it hurt. Let them come and let them go. And so now, as it's time to close this practice, just review where you've been. Notice anything that has come up for you that you want to bring with you into the day, or anything that's come up for you that you want to leave behind. Anything that you're curious about and would like to explore, you can leave that as an open question. And then in your own time, in your own way, have a little wriggle, take a breath, take a deep breath in and sigh it out. That's a fantastic way to reconnect, to change. Because when we come into this meditative state, it becomes a much more subtle breath. So if you're ready to come back into the world, you need this stronger, more dynamic breath to carry you through that. And so taking a breath in and sighing it out is a transition. And so very slowly, in whatever way suits you, either come to sitting or do it in your own position, whatever position you are. But either physically or mentally, take your hands together. This active union, mind and body, body and spirit, us and other. And from here we bow and offer peace. Om Shanti.